unmute you.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
And
And now I'm... Hi. Okay, comedy of errors today, honestly. Renee's trying to pick out a sound, and some of them are rather funny and definitely not going to be used. Hi, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad to be back. It has been a miserable 3 weeks, I gotta tell you. This has not been fun. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I'm still fighting, hence the bangs. So it kind of, hides the rash a little bit there. So, hi, I'm so happy to be back here. I have been dying to come and paint with you guys. I've missed you all. So, who all is here today? Judy Thacker, hello, sweetie. And Denise Chavez and Joan Schoen. Joan, still haven't found that frickin' eraser. So, I have no idea where it is, hon, but we're taking care of you. And Louise Long and Brenda Ellis and Linda Griffith. Hello, sweetie. And Janet Mills. Oh, my goodness. Hi. And Linda Celsini. Hello. Charmaine Bannister. Hi, hon. Oh my goodness, everybody's here. Hello, Gail. Gail's the sweetie. She wears the most amazing rings. They're arthritis rings. They're very cool.
Oh,
yeah, she wears them. They're very cool. And she rocks them. So, and Deanna Swindlehurst. Hello, sweetheart. And Robin R. And Anna Fleury. Hello. Yeah, I'm on the mend. Yeah. My filter's broken. So, I must be on the mend. It's so good to see all of you here. Tara Ellis. Hello, Miss Sheila. My hair is long and completely out of control. And I'm in desperate need of a haircut. I have bangs because of this thing. Carol Mays, hello. And Patrick, nice to see you. And Leanne Washatka. I love that last name. Washatka. That's a great name. It's good. Karen Wilson, you got to connect with Gail Woolsey. She will be able to tell you all there is to know about them. They're awesome. And Elaine Wiedemann, nice to see you. Wow, it's so good to see everybody. Today we're going to kind of pick up where we left off. We're going to be painting that tulip today. I love these pieces. I'm still floored that we never actually got around to painting all three of them. We did the iris, but we haven't done the others, so I thought it would be great to do these ones. One, I love the techniques in them. There's lots of layering, a little bit of decoupage, some stamping, stenciling. There's a whole bunch of fun things to do in it. And it creates a really interesting background that supports a very simplified floral. So it's a fun one, and I enjoy this one a great deal. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with that. But before we do that, we're going to talk about some happy mail I got this week. So special thanks going to the members of my membership group. A couple of weeks ago, well, a week ago, I got a delivery, completely unexpected, 2 beautiful floral arrangements. That made me very weepy because I'm still really upset that I can't go to Chattanooga. I'm still really upset about that. But I wanted to just send some special thanks out to my members. Thank you so much. The flowers are just beautiful, and they're still gracing my dining room. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I so appreciate them. And to Linal, sweetheart, I got your card yesterday. Thank you so much. It was so lovely to get. It was a perfect pick-me-up, so thank you very much. And the other happy mail I got this week, all of us would have been really super excited about it because I got a box full of brushes delivered. Dynasty sent me some goodies because I love goodies. This is just a few. There's a great big honkin' dish behind me full of brushes. As well, there's some sable brushes in there. There's some beautiful ones. But I just want to take a couple of minutes and talk about some of these. I know that somebody says, well, it's a turquoise handle. Which part of Dynasty is it? The turquoise handle brushes that you see, these ones here. These are the 300 series, what we refer to as the Decorator series. These are all of those specialty brushes that everybody needs. A Deerfoot, a good mop brush, etc. So I got some 300 series brushes in. I'm really excited because, one, I love my mop brush, and although I very rarely use a Deerfoot, I've become obsessed with this one. The other brush that I'm really excited about is this one. If you're into watercolor, you might want to check these out. This is Kalel. This is a synthetic watercolor brush. It's really beautiful, holds a ton of water. I was excited about those. And then, of course, you all know these. I use these ones quite frequently, which is those Dynasty Water Lily. But there's a couple in here that you might not be familiar with. And I wanted to talk about those for a second. This is Orange Ice. Really unique looking brush. Unique looking bristle, has a white tip, orange down towards the ferrule. This is also for watercolor. It's also for acrylic. It is a really incredibly durable synthetic, holds up beautifully to all sorts of torture that we can put them under very easily. So if you're looking for something a little bit different at a slightly different price point, these are going to come in a little less expensive than some of the others. And certainly an excellent quality. So if you see them and you're not quite sure of their quality, give them a try. You will not be disappointed. And then this. These ones I think are highly underrated amongst decorative painters. This is Blue Ice. This is a synthetic. It has a very soft flag. Now the flag is that end of the bristle. And it is a synthetic, so tough. Oh my Lord, these are tough. And this is the Palmer version of the Blue Ice. I really like this brush. It moves paint around really well. And because it has that nice soft flag, it gives you a really nice smooth finish. So have a look at Blue Ice. And then there is the Palmer in the Golden Taklon. I love this brush too. These are all really great brushes. It depends entirely on what price point you want to be at as far as the expense of buying brushes, because brushes can really run you into some big bucks. So if whenever you have a need for a new brush, but don't necessarily have the budget, go and have a look at some of the other lines in the Dynasty brush line. You won't be disappointed. You're going to find something that's going to fit within your budget and give you the great quality that you want. So I have a bazillion brushes now, thanks to Veronica Toohey and Greg Mink at FM Brush. I have oodles of brushes, and because of that, we have a special giveaway today. We have a 4-brush set of Dynasty Micron detailing brushes. We have 3 sets of those to give away, and included in that giveaway are some fabulous goodies from Tombow as well. We have one of the Tombow erasers. There is a set of the professional drawing pencils, and as well as a few other goodies that we throw in. So pretty nice little giveaway this week. Of course, I put it all in a fun little create bag, so you've got something to store your winnings in. So that is our giveaways for today. So we talked about some brushes, and we talked about giveaways. I love the giveaways. I love Megan.
Talk about the thing that we just put in the description.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, the thing. We have to use that word about WALK with Maze.
Yeah.
She can't even spell the word because she knows what it means.
I'm going to change it to the thing.
Now it's the thing. She knows what the thing is. So we haven't figured out what we're going to call it from here on in. Now, I'm pretty sure she's learned to tell time, because Dad takes her at the same time every single day. So now
She knows what time she has to go for a while.
yeah, exactly. So, and that's when she starts. It's time for the thing. Oh, Darlene, I hope you're here. That's all that matters. So for the giveaways, let me reiterate. This is how you get your name on the wheel. Join us in the chat. Say hello. Even if all you do is say hello. It's all good. Just join us in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Doesn't matter. We see it all. And you can like the stream, share the stream, hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Do all of those things or any one of those things, and We're going to put your name on the wheel, and at the end of the day, we're going to spin, and 3 of you are going to get some goodies in the mail. And our goodies today are courtesy of Tombow and Dynasty Brush. So, and us, of course. Is the sale over? Yes, the sale ended on Wednesday at midnight. Don't worry, I always come up with another one. Oh, Sheila fell out of the room. Okay. Not sure how you do that. So we have put the donation button back up. We have a puppy fund starting. And just FYI, in the coming weeks, Renee and I are going to be organizing a way for you guys to win some of the finished pieces that I've created over the last 4 years. And it's 4 years today that we've been doing lives. 4 years today. So that's exciting. So today is the perfect day to add that puppy fund button to our screen. So we're going to figure out a way for you guys to win some of the finished pieces that I've produced in the last 4 years, because there's a few of them, and I'm running out a few. I'm running out of room.
You did one every Saturday from every year. That's 52 Saturdays.
208.
Yeah.
It's 208, and it's actually, if you want to put that into context, it's 416, because I've painted at least 2 of everything.
We can't get rid of all those.
Yes, we can. Sure we can. Of course we can.
We should.
We should, yes. There's so much in here. It's ridiculous. There's very little wall space left in the studio, as you can see. And I'm running out of places to store stuff because we have so much of it in here. So the plan is to, as part of this fundraising effort for our local animal shelter, we're going to start giving away some of this artwork, and we're going to figure it out. So, because I need to clean out some space, and our local shelter could use some veterinary services. So that's exactly what our plan is. So I'm looking forward. Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, we've had a blast doing this. Hi, Bonnie. And Sharon Klein, hello, sweetie. Happy 4th anniversary. I was blown away. It just happened to, we could do an auction, Deanna, but we've been trying to figure out how to do it. And it's honestly, and keep it fair. And it's just been a little bit of a struggle. So we think we have come up with another way. So we just need to sort of figure out the logistics.
Judy Thacker celebrates
36 months. She's been with us since day one. Yeah, it's Judy. Our Judy. We've claimed you.
Where's Linda? I haven't seen Linda in there. The chat's been going pretty steady.
It has, but Linda may also be getting ready to go to Chattanooga.
Oh, right. Everybody would be either leaving today or tomorrow.
Yes. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to miss all my girls.
But Sandy's going to have a bunch of your stuff, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Sandy's, if you were registered to take my class in Chattanooga, drop by Sandy's booth on the trade floor. She has your kit for you, so you'll be able to pick it up. Hello, sweetie. Linda's here.
Linda, Denise, and Franco. And Sue.
Let's start it off.
Sue.
So, thank you, sweetie. Awesome. That's crazy. Aww.
Hasn't popped up yet.
Linda Griffith, I love the Tombow erasers.
Did we get an alert?
Yes, we did.
Hasn't shown up yet.
Oh well, it will. Yay, soup pots. So, yeah. So, that is the plan for the next little bit. Renee doesn't have his microphone on. That's why you can't hear him.
I don't have a spot to plug in a microphone right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're sans microphone. Is the dollar button for the donation?
Yes.
Yep.
That's for Super Chat if you're on YouTube. There it is. That's for the chat.
You guys are just amazing.
Yeah.
So we've done a tremendous amount in 4 years. We have. I stopped and thought about that the other day. In 4 years, we've done amazing donations to our local shelters. In this past year, over, if I total up the previous years, plus the glitter fund for this year, we're almost at $7,000 to our local shelter. That's awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, what is Renee dressing up as this year?
I am keeping my mouth shut. It got me in trouble last time.
Yeah.
Is there a dollar?
Linda, it's stars.
Yeah.
You can donate through stars. So on the feed, you should see a little star button. Deb Pell's glitter was the best.
I'll see Strum on my way to pick up.
Oh, hopefully he's all is good.
Well, if he's coming home.
Yeah, well, yes, I suppose. So yeah, it's been super. I can't say I blame you, Renee. Yeah, so you guys have been incredibly generous over the last 4 years. I mean, every time we've come up with some insane idea on how to fundraise for one of our local animal shelters to feed the puppers or whatever lunacy we've come up with, you guys have been incredibly supportive. You supported the channel, you supported the website, and you've been amazing. Can't tell you how much we appreciate that. It's just been an amazing 4 years. I've gotten so many great tips after watching your Saturday. Been painting for 30 plus years and always learn something new. Well, I'm so glad. I think it's got to be fun. That's first and foremost. So before we get carried away talking about how much fun we used to have, let's have a little bit of fun now and start painting our tulip. This is Fleur de Printemps, which in translated into English means spring flowers. So I am going to switch us to the top down.
And I'm going to go take care of a puppy.
He's going to go take care of a puppy, and we're going to play in the paint. So this is the one we're going to do today. I love this one. I'm a big fan of tulips. I love tulips, and there's something very elegant about them. And I really liked this finish, but this one is unique because we're layering on a whole bunch of different things and then build up the background and then tone it down.
See that one from Linda Sifranco?
What's this? We have a small donation from the girls that are going to Chattanooga. It's what was left over after the flowers. I'll try. Aw, awesome. Thank you. That's perfect. Somebody said they tried the button. Tried the button. Can't send money. Maybe it's the end of the year and I'm a little tired. I can't see how to donate. I'm a bit thick. So that makes a whole bunch of us.
Here's for the puppers from Judy Thacker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to tackle this one and we're going to start by building that background. Before I do that, I love this series. So we've already done this one, which is the iris. And these are the two that are remaining. So today we're going to paint this one. The next Saturday we're going to do this one, the daffodil. And then the following Saturday we're going to do the limoncello. Filomena's limoncello. That's what we're going to do next time. So I have a base color on here. This is warm white. You can use light buttermilk, warm white. As long as it's a light color, it doesn't really matter.
I don't want to I have to put a goal.
Okay.
For the ticker kind of thing.
Uh-huh. So let's say 1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
There. 1,500 is our goal. So the stencil I'm using, I love this one. This one is from Chris Hoy at Cupboard Distributing.
I'm going to put two things
Okay.
on that everybody can see.
Okay.
It's going to be it's called a tip ticker.
Tip ticker. Okay.
It's going to be basically show their name, what they donated, and it's just going to scroll
Oh,
along.
okay. Okay.
And it's going to be stars, everything.
Okay, cool. So this one is a postal script. This is in the collage stencil bunch from Cupboard Distributing. This is one of my favorites of theirs. This one is just, it works really, really, really well. So we're going to stencil this with a little bit of asphaltum. There we go. Now, the fun part about this is it does not have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be fully opaque. And I just positioned it so that it's, you know, the text is running horizontally. It does not matter if it gets fuzzy, if it bleeds a little, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're not looking for perfection here. We are looking for pattern. That's all. That's all. It's easy peasy. It can be light, it can be dark, it can be whatever. It's not like we're going to read it. Whoa, I think you can slow it down though. The ticker is just flying by.
I thought...
Yeah.
So, the 10 most recent.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Too funny.
That a little better? That's what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching Renee trying to edit the screen thing because I have a monitor now so I can see the chat. What is this? I can't see the chat. There we go. I saw a question. I wonder if you could use the stamp. Yes, absolutely. If you don't have the stencil, absolutely. Use a stamp.
What color do we make the text? You like red?
So, it's got a nice pattern on there. Now, obviously, I want it to continue a little bit, so I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to tuck. Here we are. Just so that I fill the space a little bit, that's all. It doesn't really matter if it's legible, because quite honestly it isn't going to change a thing at this particular time, but I just want to get that pattern all over the surface, so it doesn't matter if it is upside down. Most of it's going to be tucked in behind something else anyway, so there we are.
I'm trying to find a good spot to put it.
I'm just filling up some space here. I had a few little butterflies. There we go. All right. So I'm happy with that. It's just filled up a little bit of negative space. It's just to create some pattern in that background. So our next step, I know in the pattern it calls for a grunge set, which essentially is just a variety of textures and whatnot. So it doesn't have to be anything in particular. So I've got a stamp pad. I'm using a StazOn black. And I have a script stamp. I'm a fan. I'm going to pop a little bit of that in. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just creating layers of interesting things in here. I like a little bit everywhere. So that's my script. Now, it's me, so you know I have to have postage stamps in there. They don't have to be perfect. I just like a little bit of variation. Let's see. I have a variety of these because I'm a little bit obsessed with cancellation stamps. There we go. So I'm just layering in a few little elements here and there. They don't have to be perfect. I'm not, unlike if I were card making, then I would want the image to be crisp and clear and perfect, whereas for this type of thing, it doesn't have to be at all. And so I don't use the whole stamp. I use portions of the stamp, you know, just to fill up some of the space with some different textures and lines and images. In the end, we're going to see quite a few different ones. So I'm going to put away my stamps and my stamp pad. Well, I'll put away the stamps because I need the stamp pad. So I'm going to dry this real quick. Make sure that ink doesn't smear. I know, Karen, I use this stamp or stencil a lot for a variety of things. It just seems to fit really nicely into backgrounds. It just gives you a nice little bit of movement in there. There we go. Now, this is one of my favorite things. I love these tissue papers from Tim Holtz. This is Ideology. This one is called Entomology, which just means it's got bugs on it. Which, for some weird reason, I have a minor obsession with bugs. I love this one. I know anybody that lives in an area that gets a lot of cicadas probably doesn't like them as much as I do. But I like me a cicada. I think they're kind of cool. So I tore off a strip of this Ideology. This one is called Entomology. I found this one on Amazon. I find Amazon is actually pretty good. One of my favorite places, though, is scrapbooking.com. Jeez, my brain just shut off. So scrapbooking.com is one of my faves. I love scrapbook.com because they always have up-to-date stuff, and I have found this there as well. So I usually will get 2 or 3 rolls of something that I really like, simply because all too often they discontinue something and then I want it and can't find it. So this is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd roll I've got left. So I use a lot of it. This is a favorite of mine, is this Entomology, because it's got bugs in it and I like bugs. So I have to decide which way I want this to go. I'm going to go this way, methinks. Or that way. No, I think I'll go this way. So I'm going to... Ooh, that's a tough one because there's a cancellation stamp there I like. Let's do this.
I need some colors.
I need colors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Color for the bar.
I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it.
Too many decisions. Shannon B. Riley, Bugaloos. I have an absolute obsession with insects lately. I don't know why. Someone just asked what size the surface is. It's a 6x12. Nothing fancy. 6x12. Get it at Michael's. They've got canvas on sale. Go there. I really like the idea of tearing this. So I'm going to tear this, but I'm going to start like down here. And I'm going to try and tear this on the diagonal like that, because I want to cover about half of the surface. How fun is this? And then I have half an inch or so that I can play with. Right there. Ooh, I like it. So I've got all the bugs. I was trying to tear it so I got to keep as much of the bugs as I could. So, bugs. So, I'm going to be using a little bit of matte medium for this next one, this next part. I love matte medium. You could use decoupage medium. I'm particularly fond of matte medium. I find that it works exceptionally well for what I'm doing. So, and because I can, I'm going to use one of my blue ice brushes. So, I'm going to set my paper aside. And I'm going to apply a generous coat of matte medium to my surface. And I do mean generous. I slop this on, and then I'll just brush it out evenly. Otherwise, I find we never seem to put enough on, then the paper doesn't stick, and yeah, it's just, ick. Now, this is one of my favorite tips for decoupaging. Little spray bomb full of distilled water. And I'm going to just lightly mist my paper on both sides. And there is a reason for this. So spritz your paper on both sides so that it's just damp. You don't want it dripping with water, but just damp. And then I'm going to turn it sideways because I'm going to use that edge. I'm going to lay the paper in so that it lines up with the edge of my surface, like so. Ta-da! And then I'm just going to let the wet paper drop into that medium, like so. Et voila. Now, if your paper is, you can lightly mist it. It's not going to hurt it. Now, it becomes fragile when it's wet, but two things happen when paper is wet. It becomes very transparent, and two, it stretches. And you want this to stretch in your favor. Now, if you put it on dry and it stretches, what you end up with is a lot of wrinkles and ripples and bubbles. If you lay this into the medium when it's damp like that, and you brush it out, all the bubbles come out, and it lays down and sticks right into that medium. And then when you dry it, it shrinks and you end up with a nice tight finish. It just grabs onto the surface.
$95 already.
I don't know. Oh, Tracy Craig. My goodness.
I didn't see it.
He didn't see it. There you go. So, I know you can't hear him, but he says you're awesome. Yeah. So, I'm going to dry this real quick. I love this effect because you can see all the stamping that we put in right through the paper. You can see the stenciling that we did right through the paper. And it's just such a fun finish. And then when it's dry, it's nice and smooth. Gives you a really nice, smooth finish to paint on.
I'm getting YouTube right now.
Where'd it go? Holy Moses. Ow. I am feeling better. I still have to have my eyes checked and then a recheck by the doc, but that's It's fine. Medication, I think, was worse than the illness.
Try not to click any of these. Well, I have one.
Renee is busy playing with the computer.
Oh, Misty, thank you.
Here you go. There we are.
That good?
That's good. So, here's a little tip. I see this a lot. See how the edge gets gunky when you're working with it? Because you're because you're scraping the brush against the edge and whatnot. And then when you come back, your paint or your matte medium or everything is dried out. Well, it dries out because the edge of the jar, gross.
Go find that thank you.
There it is. So the reason that your medium has a tendency to dry out is because the jar can't seal properly. So if you just clean with a little damp paper towel, just clean the edges of your jar, and then it'll seal nice and tight, and it'll last a lot longer that way. This is what happens if you don't wipe it down. You get this
One last time.
grungy, icky thing.
One last time. I swear.
Okay, one more.
There.
Okay.
So.
Yes, exactly, Tracy. Okay, there's a question there and I can't see it. Thank you. Does Denise Chavez, does the damp paper method work on applying paper to a larger surface? Yes, it does. Anytime you are working with a decoupage paper, whether it's for the front of a dresser or the top of a tabletop, if you're working with a large sheet of paper, mist it, because what will happen, especially with larger papers, because they tend to be a little heavier, it will buckle, it will ripple, and it will stretch, and it will not stretch in a good way, and you'll end up with all sorts of issues. If you lightly mist the paper before you put it on, you're going to have a much easier time, and the finish will end up being much nicer. So you can see there's no ripples, there's no bubbles, there's no folds or creases in the paper at all. It is a nice, smooth finish. So I'm going to show you another little trick. One I have used for years because it just works. And this is it. So we have a little bit of paper off the edge of our surface. I've seen people try to cut paper so that it fits perfectly and then curse that they can't get it in place. Nail file. Sanding sponge. Even a regular file will do this. Just down and away. Don't saw back and forth. Just down and away from you against the paper. And it gives you a nice clean edge. And you can do that wherever the paper overlaps or exceeds past the edge of your surface. Look at that. Slicker. So there we have it. I got a little spot here that's overlapped. There we go. Nice. So we've got a nice clean edge. Next time you're in the dollar store, go to the cosmetic section of your local dollar store and buy a bag full of these things. They are handy as heck in the studio. You'll find yourself using them all the time, whether it's to sand edges off of your decoupage like this, taking burrs off the edge of ornaments, etc. This is a very handy little tool to have in your studio. So, dollar store nail files, well worth the investment. Also the dollar store. Any place that has travel kits where you have hairspray and whatnot. These little spray bottles are a godsend. I use these all the time, whether it's something small or if it's large. I use these all the time. When you're decoupaging, it's going to make your life a whole lot simpler. Now, the piece that we tore off, that was here, I keep these because now you have a perfect piece for a journal page or for a smaller surface. You've got a piece already torn and ready to go. So don't throw those out. So we have this great, I'm going to get the goop off of my palette here. Now I used warm white for my base. You can use light buttermilk, I'm thinking. I'm going to use light buttermilk. For the base coat underneath this, it can be light buttermilk, it could be warm white, it could be gesso. It just needs to be a light color, that's all. So, but for the top coat, we're going to be using some light buttermilk. And this is what we're going to put over it. So essentially, we're going to subdue this a little bit with this light buttermilk. And I'm going to thin this out with a little bit of fast dry glaze. I'm just going to make a very transparent wash, just using a little bit of that. And we're going to put a coat of this. Don't panic. I know it's scary, but don't panic. We're going to put a whitewash of this over top of everything. And all we're doing is just subduing this a little bit. And it's giving us a lighter surface to work on. But now everything is unified. So even the asphaltum underneath becomes a little more subdued. And I'm putting it all in a vertical fashion. If you find that it's starting to close, if it's starting to get sticky and dragging, hello? Light mist with your little spritzer and brush it out some more. And I'm always going in one direction. And there we go. So we have this nice unified finish. It's subdued. It has all of that pattern, all of those fun things, those interesting things about this piece are all still there. They're just subdued a little bit. They're knocked back a little bit. We're not burying them completely, but they become one unified surface this way. So it almost looks like the whole thing is printed in one single sheet. Does the thicker, heavier paper work too? Yes, it does. Absolutely. If you can't find this, use a scrapbook paper. Or the other fun thing you can do is take a piece of copy paper, throw some stamps on it, some other images that you might like. Go through all of your stamps, throw a whole bunch of things on there, and then photocopy it. And now you've got your own decoupage paper. Hi, Carrie. I am feeling loads better. Still not 100%, but I am feeling loads better. I've been anxious, chomping at the bit all week to get back in the studio. I did paint a little bit. I've had several pieces sitting on my drawing table for the last little while, so I have stuff to paint. I just haven't been feeling well enough to do it. So I did manage to do a little bit of painting last week. So, but I am so glad to be back in my studio. I've missed it, and I've missed you guys. I'm still, yeah. Thank you for the happy birthday, Gail. 4th anniversary, 4 years of doing these lives. We've had such a blast doing them. I mean, we've given away so much stuff. I mean, in the last 4 years, we've had tremendous support from all of our suppliers. They've been incredible. So I have been, I know it sounds really trite, but I've been blessed in the fact that we've had such great support and such great people joining us every week. Hi, Claudette. Claudette, did you melt on Wednesday? Oh my lord, it was so hot here Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, Claudette will back me up. We don't usually see 40 degrees where we are. A hot day here is 27, 28. Sometimes it's, with the humidex it'll go over 30, but we don't see 40. Not here. We're on the East Coast. We usually have cooler weather, but Wednesday and Thursday were absolutely brutal. She did just about melt. It was brutal. Hello, Marjorie. And Carol Eves. Hello, sweetie. And Miss Karen. It's so nice to see you guys. So that is our base. This is what we're going to build our floral on. And before we get too excited, I'm going to show you a fun way to do the edges. I like to enclose things. Usually I'll go around the outside edges of things with a float of asphaltum. I just, something just to give it a little visual weight. I'm a big fan of visual weight. I'm looking for my favorite stamp pad, but I can't find it. There it is. Okay. So, I like having that little bit of visual weight around things. And so I'm going to do that with a stamp pad. Ordinarily could do it with a float, but we're going to use a stamp pad. So this one is, this is my new favorite stamp pad because it's as close to asphaltum as I can get in a stamp pad. This is Timber Brown by Stays On. And I'm going to rub my stamp pad along the edge like this. So if I just go like that, it just gives me a narrow edge. But if I change the angle, so if I tilt it this way, big angle, I'm going to get a narrow line. Or I can lay it almost flat and I can do this. And so it creates that sort of broken edge all the way along. So I can change the angle, round out my corners a little bit, lay it flat. I can get even more, which I love, by the way. I love this technique. I just think this works. It's the bee's knees. So the more of that stamp pad I put on the surface, the wider it gets. And this just gives you an element of control. And I love that it breaks. So if I rub like that, look at this. I love this. So this is with the Timber Brown. So it gives me that nice, see, so it's got that nice rustic, sort of contemporary or grungy effect on the edges. And you can paint the edges of the panel to match that. So you could go with asphaltum on the side or black. Either one is going to work really well. This one's a little straight for me. See how this just gets, that's kind of boring. Let's get it. Yes. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. There. So you can be as aggressive about it or as gentle about it as you like. But I love how that looks. Look at how fun that is. It gives it sort of that rustic, I love that look. So we have background ready, and it's ready to trace and transfer your line drawings on, which, through the magic of television, I've already done it. So here's mine. I had way too much fun with this. Now, I just transferred this on using a little bit of gray graphite. I know on camera it's not as easy to see, but I can make it out enough. So we're going to start with the leaves and the stems on this one. Now I'm using Decoupage fluid acrylics, these ones here. I love these. these are just, these are fantastic. But as I'm going, because I'm using fluid acrylics, I'm going to give you some alternatives as far as color goes. So if you've got a notepad handy, as I change colors, write down the one. I will show you which Americana that I'm using, so that oh, I just put my hand right in the paint. Oh, lights are on. Okay, so Decoupage fluid acrylics are extremely highly pigmented. So they have a tendency, I'm going to use one of my new brushes. They have a tendency to be a little potent. So you've got plenty of room when it comes to thinning them out. So the colors that I'm using for the leaves, in this particular case, I've got a little bit of warm white. I think you always have to have a little bit of a white when you're working with fluid acrylic, simply because you're going to need to lighten some of them or make them a little bit more opaque, and a little bit of white will help you do that. So the colors I'm using today are green gold and sap green. I love these two. If you're working with Americana, margarita green, and you can use plantation pine. So if you're wanting to know which Americana colors to use, margarita, plantation pine. If you're using the fluid acrylic, it's sap green and green gold. So those are the two. I'm going to be using, this one is a Dynasty Triplex. This is a watercolor brush, just so that you can have a look and see what other nifty toys they gave me. And I got to get my shirt, my white shirt off, because I'm very warm in here.
Have to readjust the donation ticker again.
Okay. Is it working the way you want it to?
Well, somebody made a donation in euro.
Oh, okay.
I have to adjust it for...
exchange rate.
Because it says 95 when we actually raised $144.27 Canadian, which is $105.32 American.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Let me readjust it.
So I'm just using that fluid acrylic. This is the easy part, because you can just, throw it in. You don't have to work too hard for this. Just put that color in. Everything's green, so they're leaves. They're all green. The nice part about the fluid acrylics is they're completely transparent, so I can still see everything. I can see all of my stamping and stenciling underneath, so it makes it very user-friendly.
Starting, it's 105. Come on. What's the number?
Oh, goodness.
32. And month, day. There.
Ooh, this triplex is a nice brush.
Are you using a round brush?
This one is, yes. This one is a number 8 round. This one is a triplex. This is a synthetic watercolor brush. And it really holds its shape quite nicely. There we are.
Andrea George donated $25 for the puppers in the name of G.D. Mackenzie.
Well, thank you. In the name of G.D. Mackenzie. There we go. So, as you can see, that was terribly difficult. So, a little bit of that green gold. I love that color. Any high yellow green will do. I like margarita for this simply because it's a little more transparent. granddaughter, Mackenzie. Aw. So, I'm going to make sure this is good and dry.
Good. You're automatically
It's Ruby's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Ruby. Ruby or Rudy?
Ruby.
Ruby.
It's Karen's little dog. Her dachshund.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. So, I've got
What?
a year old.
A year old?
I think she's a year.
A year?
Year old, or is she 2?
She's 2. Turn the big 2.
Ah.
Yeah, it says right there.
Okay, I didn't see that. So, we're going to shade these leaves with a little bit of that sap green. I love this green. So, we're going to shade in here, base of the leaves, in behind that stem. And there's a little flip over in here. So this shadow gets fairly deep. Now, the nice thing about working with these float acrylics is you don't have to think of them like we do with our floats in traditional acrylics, where everything has to be very soft and because they're transparent, you're building up the shadows. So there is room. It's very forgiving, I think is the word that I'm looking for. I love the fluid acrylics for this. They're very forgiving. No, we have one of the most spoiled fur babies.
She knows what's expected of her.
That's true.
I wouldn't say she's spoiled.
Well, she's definitely pampered.
Certain somebody, yeah.
Yep. Certain somebody. I took video of Renee doing a training session with Maze the other day. It was quite eye-opening.
How so?
Well, it was just fascinating to watch her, how focused she is. She's incredibly focused when she's in training. What?
Lynn.
Her dog is 18? Good heavens.
I'm guessing it's a smaller dog. What breed? I won't bet it's a smaller, probably a Westie. Westie are known for
Long life.
long life.
I wish that our fur babies lived longer. Just because it's so hard when they go. So I'm just putting a little float to that same dark green, that's sap green, back there on the back of the stem. Don't worry, we're going to build this up a little bit. Now, I've got a little of that green gold, that margarita green. I'm going to pick up a little bit of warm white in it. This is going to be our highlight color. I just want enough of the white to change the opacity of it a little bit. And all it does is just gives this a little more oomph. Look at that.
You know, Sandy Fowler had to take her dog into the vet today.
Oh no.
My dog's foot got ran over.
Aw.
Take care of her. Oh, no doubt. What's Lynn saying? Oh, an Apso. It's a long-haired small dog.
A Lasha.
Yeah, a Lhasa Apso.
Isn't that similar to
It's like a long-haired Westie.
Okay, yeah.
Very long-haired Westie. They're a companion dog.
A Yorkie that will be 19 in July. Oh my goodness.
See, those small dogs live forever.
Yeah. Our
Jack
Yorkie
Russell.
almost has us trained. The Jack Russell that lived 19 years, 10 months. Wow.
It's a long life.
Okay, so that mixture that I've made is going to be my highlight color on this stem as well. So I'm just going to put a little bit of it down the highlight side, which is the left side of this. There we go. The fun part about this, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yep. The fun part about this is that it's very forgiving. So you can, whoopsie, nothing has to be perfect.
Just 25 pounds, big. Yeah, that is big for that breed.
My long-haired Chihuahua was 22. Wow.
See, it's this.
Small dogs live forever. Kind of makes you wish they all did.
Renee, what happens to the trained dogs for military? Depends on the country. In Canada, we had a very small contingent of military dogs. And they usually got adopted by handlers.
Yeah.
Or they went off to RCMP and got retrained or...
Yeah. And when they retire, they're usually adopted out.
Some militaries around the world see them as equipment, sadly. So, but Canada, we take care of them. Can't hear what you're saying. I wonder why. I don't get the microphone.
We need to figure that out. Hello. Hi, Carol. Happy Saturday. Where do you purchase fluid media paints in Canada? Ramona, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. The only place that I know of is based in Winnipeg, and that's the Artists Emporium. Louise Long, $25. Thank you, Louise.
Do they not have an online store?
Who?
Artists Emporium?
Yes, they do. Artistsemporium.com. And Country Bear. Yes, Country Bear has them. So looky there. I'm going to dry this. And we're going to come back and tweak this a little bit. It's just needed to dry it. There we go. So it doesn't take a lot. It's just a shade and a highlight, and because it's transparent, we still see all of the fun stuff that's in that background. So I'm going to dry this real quick, and then we're going to tackle our flower. Now, primary magenta is the main color we're using for that flower. And I love primary magenta. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous red. We are going to thin this out a bit because I want this to have more of a pinky tone than, that really harsh dark color. And again, we're just putting a wash of that color in. So that's what these petals get. Essentially a wash. So we're going to keep that nice pinky tone.
I think I got it working.
You think you got it working now?
I think so.
The fun part about this is that we're not talking traditional base coating. We're not having to layer in one color on top of the other until we get an opaque background, because we really don't want it for this piece. So I'm putting in a wash of that thinned magenta, primary magenta. So each of the petals gets that color.
Nancy's wondering what you thinned the red with.
You can use either water, or in my case, I'm using Jo Sonja's Fast Dry Glaze. I use Jo Sonja's for a lot. This is my everything medium. I use it for floating. I use it for thinning my paint for base coating. I use it for everything. It is my everything medium. So I'm just painting my petals with that primary magenta. Now, if you don't have primary magenta, you can use this. This is strawberry.
Somebody just asked.
Yep. I like this one because it's a really vivid pinkish red, this strawberry. It's really, really nice. And it will work just fine for this. Oops, I just went off. There we go. There we are. Oh, you found a microphone. Does your microphone work?
Yeah, but I don't have a mouse now.
You don't have a mouse? Okay.
It sacrifices.
Yeah, well.
When you only have 3 USB ports, technically 4, and they're
all being used.
And the amount of equipment we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you kind of have to prioritize. Oh, well. But he managed to plug in a mic. He lost his mic when I gained the monitor so that I can see the questions. Something had to go, and apparently it was him, so...
That's fine.
It's fine.
But it gives you a little bit more autonomy, too.
It does, yeah.
So you can run a live all on your own if you really needed to.
Yeah.
And that was the point.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, because, So I have, look at that, base color in.
Man, is that ever thin.
It doesn't have to be thick. Remember, we're putting layers in.
Layers. Like an onion.
Like an onion, yes. Layers like an onion.
Or parfait.
Or parfait. What is it with you and food acronyms?
I like it. I like food.
Oh, goodness.
That was actually part of the pre-live conversation we were having.
That's true. Yeah.
I figured out that I have expertise in 3 categories.
Yep.
And alphabetically it goes bikes, dogs, and guns.
Yep. Those are the things he knows the most about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motorcycles, dogs, and guns. Guns being an occupational hazard.
But I've always found firearms interesting.
Yeah,
so.
You were always fascinated with them. So once you have that in place, we're going to switch to a color called quinacridone magenta, which is a even darker version of primary magenta. And it's got a purpley undertone. It has a nice purpley undertone, which appeals to me in a lot of ways. The other thing I'm going to use is a little bit of lamp black because I want to darken this magenta. Now, having said that, if you don't have quinacridone magenta, which a lot of people don't, you can always take a little bit of black and mix it with your primary magenta to do this. The difference is negligible. So you can take a little bit of this strawberry and add a little bit of black to it, and it will work just fine. Becca Buckner, I have 5 pistols plus a CCW license. Concealed carry? Okay.
Concealed weapons license.
In other words, don't mess with Becca. Don't mess with Becca. So we're going to shade into these lower areas of our tulip with that quinacridone magenta, lamp black magenta mix. So in other words, we're making a very dark red, purpley red.
She's got one for every day of the week.
Woman after your own heart. There,
yeah! I'd love to have 5 pistols for her. Pick which one I want to take.
I have shoes for every day of the week. Actually, I have a couple of pairs of shoes for every day of the week. So in those deeper areas of our tulip, like right in here, all of these deep areas are going to get that mixture.
Also bought my 19-year-old and myself a stun pen.
A stun pen. Now that sounds like fun.
Shocking.
Okay. Somehow, listening to the way you said that, I don't think you're overly shocked.
No.
But you could be.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use that dark purpley red mixture.
It smarts.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that it's smart.
There's a reason why they call it a stun gun / stun pen.
That would smart. So all of these little areas, these little shading areas, those vein lines and folds in the petal are going to get a float of that primary magenta mix. And then there's some interesting little textures at the edges and tips of these petals that are going to get that float too. So just, do you see where I'm going with this? We're just putting in these little transparent floats.
Faye Reed's off to finish her flower beds.
Nice. That was one thing I did do. I did manage to finish getting my garden in. It took me all day to do like 3 rows of beans. I had no energy. But I got to spend a little time in the sunshine and played in my garden, and it's all good.
I can't tell you how many guns I have in the gun safe. Now that is a good problem to have.
She has a gun safe. Responsible gun owner.
Yes.
I'm perfectly comfortable holding a weapon, perfectly comfortable firing one, not comfortable having one in my home. But that's a me thing. I'm just not comfortable with it. And that's okay. I'm sure as the devil not going to pass judgment on somebody that is.
No. They're tools. They're only effective as the person holding it.
Yep. And they're only as dangerous as the person holding it, quite honestly. They're only dangerous when somebody picks it up. And I look at firearms as what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable having one in your home, good for you. If you're not, that's okay too. I'm comfortable with a weapon. I've learned from a very young age how to fire a weapon, how to do it safely. But
Used to be taught in schools.
well, I was taught in high school, so and junior high school. Not something I'm uncomfortable with.
Jeez, the puppy fund is already at 140, 150.
Nice.
What color are you using now?
This is still that magenta with a little bit of black. Just a darker value of magenta. And I'm just shading in all of those little pockets and the center veins and the creases. That's all I'm doing. Nothing significant. I just realized I missed a spot. There we go. So I'm going to switch to my liner, and we're going to use a little bit of that lamp black. I'm going to throw a little bit of primary magenta in it, and we're going to add a few little details. And this is just in these areas so that we can establish those folds. Hi, Giz. I guess he was just announcing to the world.
I am done.
Singing the songs of his people.
And now he's playing the drums.
Yep. That's our Giz.
Nothing broke?
No, everything seems to be working just fine.
Cable.
So I'm just filling in a few little key spots to separate those petals. Just using a little bit of lamp black. Hi, Giz.
You beat that right in the microphone.
Did he? Oh my
And that's what Gizmo had to say on the subject.
He's a man of few words. But every once in a while, he has to have his say. That's Gizmo. That's our Giz. He is quite a character. So, there is a petal back there. I'm going to separate it a little bit. I'm going to...
It's an angled shader.
It is a 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch angled shader. There you go. And that's a faux squirrel.
Yes.
Ah! Look at me!
Look at you go!
Can handle the heat, but not the humidity.
Oh, and the humidity's been brutal.
We need good rain.
Yeah, well, apparently we're going to get our wish tomorrow. So, I'm just going to deepen a few little shadows. There's a few little spots here that I'm not thrilled with. So, I'm just going to deepen that a little. There we are.
Renee, can you take over when Mom's sick? No.
He could probably handle the comedy.
The comedy part I can do.
The comedy part he could do. I'm not so sure about the paintbrush thing.
No, I am definitely not comfortable with painting.
So inside our tulips, there are 2 stamen. So I'm going to paint those lamp black. And I can't see where the other one is. There it is. Where it is. There it is. So we've got 2 of those right there. Paint those lamp black. And I'm going to dry this because I've got to put another layer of shading in, and then we got to do some highlighting. But this stays very transparent. You want to be able to see that pattern through it. The idea is to make this look as if somebody just doodled this over top some old papers. And it's supposed to have that sort of loose and transparent look to it. So make sure that's good and dry. And then I'm going to put some shading on this back petal here. We need a little bit back here. I'm going to bring in a little of that black. There we go. So our petal here doesn't quite, there we are. Look at that. I love this color, this primary magenta. It's so rich, and it's so, so pretty. There we go. And the bottom of this petal needs to be deepened a little, so I'm going to deepen that. And the back edge of this petal. The nice thing about fluid acrylics is that you can put layer on top of layer on top of layer, and it doesn't really change the opacity dramatically. So it gives you lots of depth and lots of movement, and it still remains quite transparent. And you can put those textures in. You can put those layers in. And build up.
Patrick Penifus. Renee, I have a tech question. Can you film with your phone, Android, and record directly on your PC using a USB cord? Yes, absolutely. I will turn you to a gentleman on YouTube named Paul O'Malley. He's got a video on how to turn your Android phone into a webcam, literally.
Perfect. There we go.
And then you can use it for whatever you need it to do.
So you can see that putting those layers and layers and layers in. Look at that. I have always loved the way these fluid acrylics paint. The nice part is that if you cannot get your hands on them, you can always use your Americanas. And the nice part about the Americanas is they're a little more opaque, but you can easily make them a bit transparent just using a glazing medium. So there's fun ways that you can enhance this type of thing just using your Americanas. So we're going to add a little highlight to the petals on this in a few places. I'm just using a little bit of warm white. And we don't need to have 10 tons of it. I'm just going to use a little in a few spots. Just like that. It's not a strong, fully opaque highlight, but it's enough to change how this color looks. Look at that. So it gives that little extra that you need. And the colors are heavily thinned. I don't like to use color full strength. I like to be able to control it and use it in thin overlapping layers. I just have always found that I get best results when I have control over the paint. And the best way to do that is to work in thin layers.
I'm not seeing Facebook. Oh, there it is. No, there's Debbie. I love the color.
Craving Chinese for supper. What's for supper for us? We're having Greek. Yes. So I'm making a Greek salad, black olives, fresh tomatoes, cucumber, some nice crisp peppers, lots of garlic and red onion.
Yum.
Homemade lemon dressing with lots of oregano and garlic. And then the chicken has been marinating since yesterday, and it is in fresh squeezed lemon juice, lemon rind, garlic, and fresh oregano.
It's practically cooked now.
It's
With all that acid.
with all that acid, yes. But it'll go on the grill. And we're going to put that on the grill. That'll be nice and tasty.
Hot grill.
Yes, a very hot grill. And then we're having lemon potatoes. So, and I'm baking those skin on. They're going to marinate for about half an hour in fresh squeezed lemon juice and lots of garlic, salt, and pepper. And then those will go in a slow oven for about 40 minutes with a little bit of olive oil. So the skin will be nice and crispy, and the potatoes will have a nice lemony zing. Greek salad.
Lots of feta?
Yes, I have some really nice crumbled feta.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Nice. And then we have tzatziki and pita bread.
Yeah.
Lots of crispy lettuce, too. So.
You're making me hungry. I'm sitting here eating Cheerios and a banana.
So I'm going to dry that real quick.
I have a bottle of water and I want food now.
I have tea. I had kimchi for lunch. I'm going to regret that.
Is the chicken souvlaki?
Yes. Souvlaki. Yes, it is. So what I did was I filleted chicken breast, which means I cut them lengthwise this way. So they're nice and thin, hammered them out, and then they get marinated in fresh lemon juice, salt, garlic, fresh oregano, and then turn them over a couple of times. And then just before, no offense to Cheerios and bananas, but the Greek salad sounds better. Yeah. I don't like store-bought dressings, so I have a tendency to make my own when it comes to certain things. And spicy feta, serranos, Kalamata olives, garlic, red and green pepper, chop really fine. Oh my God, with a warm pita. Yeah, oh my God, that would be so good. I did get some tzatziki from the deli. I usually make my own, but I cheated this time around and bought some. It's pretty good. Sausage, peppers, and onions on the grill. Oh my, yes. I'm an all-around lunatic, Becca. Put that recipe on the website, please. For the Greek dressing, or for the souvlaki, yes, I can do that. I had a lot of fun putting that recipe page together. I've just sort of been picking and choosing through some of my favorite recipes and put them up there. The scones, I made the blueberry scones yesterday. They are so good. So our tulip, it's pretty much done. We're going to add a few little sketchy elements to this at some point. I'm in love with the color on this one. I love the other one, but this one I don't know. The color got so much deeper and lusher in this one, and I'm yum. I just love the way this one turned out. Oh, Lorraine, I'm glad you like it. Let's see. Definitely add the Greek recipes. I got to tell you, my Greek recipes are not technically mine. I have a dear friend in Winnipeg that owned a Greek restaurant. And she was amazing. And that's who I got the recipe for my tzatziki from. Or not my tzatziki, my souvlaki. And she made, bar none, one of the best Greek salads I've ever eaten in my life. So I follow that recipe and have for years. It's just bar none one of the best.
Okay.
Was it?
I'm just looking at wood pellets.
Oh.
Well, the fact that they're $22 for an 8-pound bag.
That's not too bad. Pay more than that for kitty litter.
Yeah. So I got you cherry and the Traeger signature blend.
Oh, yummy. So is this like my birthday, anniversary,
This is
Christmas present all rolled into one?
You gotta have a smoker.
I know.
And since the door fell off the other one, might as well get you a good one.
Well, and the worst part is that I've been shopping for a pork belly because I need to make bacon. And I'm down to my last pound and a half of bacon.
What? And you might as well have a well-known brand name.
Okay.
And it doesn't require gas.
Yes, that's a bonus.
It acts like a barbecue.
Yep.
And it's not a stupid big one. And it has wheels.
And it has wheels. There we go. So this gives me a chance to try something that I've been playing with. I'm always trying out new products. I'm always looking for, that next nifty thing that's going to work. It has to work. If it doesn't do what I want it to do, then it's not going to work. But I came across these. This, believe it or not, is a Sharpie 0.38 gel pen. I use the 0.38 Uniball Signo. It's my favorite pen. If you're not familiar, this is the one that I use all the time. This one is actually the 0.28. This is an ultra fine. But the 0.38 I use all the time. And the reason for it is the ink. Between the ultra fine point and the ink, those are the two selling features to this pen for me. I like that steel ball. It's not a plastic ball, it's a steel ball. It rolls really smoothly. The ink is ultra black. So it comes out really nicely and it writes beautifully, and I use it on everything, and it works perfectly over acrylic paint. That is not to say that I'm not open to finding, perhaps more affordable alternatives. And I had read about these. This is the Sharpie. It's a 0.38, same size, same ball size, stainless steel ball, just like the other one. And so far the ink is pretty good. I'm not disappointed, but I haven't really tried it much on a painted piece. So I wanted to try it out today. Seems to work all right. It's ultra fine, just like my other one, so it's not a big difference. But if you're looking for an affordable alternative, or if you have a hard time finding these Uniball Signos, then you might want to try one of these. I was pleasantly surprised by the price tag. They were under $3 a pen. They do write very nicely, and the ink seems to be, certainly works well enough on paper. On a painted surface, yeah, it seems to work all right. No concerns that I can see immediately. I haven't really tested the ink yet to see if it's going to tolerate being sprayed or anything like that, but certainly something to look at. It's dark enough, gives you a nice dark coloring, so I'm not disappointed with how it looks, but we'll see if it doesn't smear. That would be the first thing that would tick me off, would be smearing. But anyway, if you're looking for a solution and would like to try this out, I would love to get your opinion. If you've got one, I would love to hear what you have to say about it. So yeah, so a Sharpie S Gel, and it's a 0.38. You can buy them in boxes of 5. I got these ones at Staples. So, never a bad thing to try out something new. You never know if it's going to work for you. And so far, so good. I'm not disappointed. The ink is a nice dark color. Seems to work quite well. So anyway, just food for thought. These are my favorites, though. I'm a huge fan of my black gel pens. My 0.38s. These are my favorites. They would have to go a ways to produce, something better than these, to my mind, because I'm very pleased with how these work. So I like everything else. I like sketchy outlines. I like that. That's just a me thing. I love this detailing with these gel pens. They just work for me. And I like the sketchy details around things. That's also works for me. It's one of my favorite things. So you can go all the way around your tulip, around the petals, around the leaves, etc. with your gel pen. It gives it a nice finished edge. I just like the way it finishes the edge of things. So, and the same in here, all of these little detail lines in here, those can all be done with your gel pen. But we have some lettering to do. Now, I'm going to switch to a number 2 rigger. I've got one here that's got a funky hair growing out of the side of it. It got smooshed. There we are. Okay, I've got my number 2 rigger. Oh, sorry, this is a 0. Jeez, didn't read it. 0 rigger. We're going to work with some thinned lamp black. Oh my goodness, Harolyn, congratulations. 55 years. You got Tombow, a set of 12 gray palette dual tip alcohol markers for $5. Holy hell. That's a great deal. So we're going to thin out a little bit of lamp black. You can do that with water or with a little bit of glaze. Here we go. And we're going to paint in our lettering. There we are. I love this font. For the life of me, I cannot remember what it's called. It's, for some unknown reason, it always reminds me of pirate movies. And that may have something to do with the name. I'm not sure, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. But it is a really great font for this particular piece. It just has that old world, vintagey feel to it that really appeals to me. Here we go. Little Maze is talking up a storm back there. Hi, Anne. Nice to have you with us. Anne Easterling. I quite literally suffered from separation anxiety. I for the last couple of weeks I honestly have not been well. Certainly not myself. So I would come down to the studio and then I wouldn't do much of anything. I would just sort of sit here and look around or read through patterns and edit things, and I have not been doing much at all. I didn't feel like painting because I just didn't feel well. And it's hard to concentrate when you're in pain. And I gotta tell you that shingles is just not a joke. It's not even funny. Although, I make light of it a lot of the time, but it was miserable. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, quite honestly. So, it is a huge relief to be back in my studio. I'm back playing. It's truly missed you guys. Well, thankfully, Charmaine, I am back in fighting form, or almost. I'm going to get rid of this blessed rash. And because part of the rash was near my left eye, I have to have my eyes checked again. I just had my eyes checked in April. My annual checkup type thing. Where they assess whether I need new glasses or not and all that good stuff. They just did that in April. And so now I have to go back in just to make sure that there's been no changes to my vision. That's all. So it's all good. I am alive and well. Still dealing with, some sort of little viral thing that I hooked into back at, the end of March and early April. That kind of left me with a residual cough, and it left me with some, asthma symptoms and whatnot. And then the allergy season kicked in, and that just, again, added to things. So I'm still dealing with some of that, but, that is what it is. It's fine. Yeah. Shannon, that nerve thing, I'm still dealing with that. The biggest reason that they kind of treated this whole thing with a bit more concern is simply because I've had shingles 4 times in 4 years. So they just really did not want me to run the risk of picking up something else because my immune system is tanked. And because it's also the rash was on my head and my face. So it's miserable. But I am feeling much better than I have, so it's all good. Certainly I am well enough to come and play and paint, so. This is just such a fun piece to paint because it's very forgiving. You're not going to really mess this up anyway. I'm having issues with my graphite paper. I have a sheet of graphite paper, and every once in a while, oh my God, internally must have been, I know what that's like. They're horrible. Where was I? I was just completely lost my train of thought. Holy hell. I saw something in the chat and was like, oh my goodness. This is a piece that you can paint with just relax and paint it. Quite simply. There's no real rules. You can't really mess this up. Just don't worry about painting it solid. There's no need to paint it solid. So I think if you just sit back and relax and just enjoy the process of putting the color in and just enjoy it, it's going to come out nice no matter what you do. So, but I've got a sheet of graphite paper that I keep picking up. I should just throw it out, but I for whatever reason, I never do. Anyway, this one does not like the paint. So if the minute I paint up to the line, it's like it scares the paint away. It's like it's water resistant. So it's just awful. It's not a carbon paper. It's actually a graphite paper, but it must have some wax in it or something because it just, oh, it's god awful. And I never think to throw it out. I just can't bring myself to throw it out because it might need it. But it's a very frustrating one. So I've got Fleur done. The rest of the lettering is pretty simple. I'm just going to stroke it in. See, this is where I'm running into a problem. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it won't paint nicely. It won't play nice in the sandbox. So I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to try a little trick. I've got my graphite paper there. I'm going to use a little bit of matte medium, and I'm going to paint over top of that lettering. I'm going to seal that graphite in and see if this helps, because this is driving me crazy. It means that the edge of the lettering is not crisp. I'm thinking, Dorothy, I think it does have some wax in it. I don't know what brand it is. It could have been an old one for all I know, but it may have been something I picked up at a trade show or been given. I don't know, but it's... Let's try this again. So I just sealed in that graphite paper because I was really getting annoyed with it. And let's see if that works. Oh, hallelujah. Look at that. Much better. I just make sure that I cover all the graphite. That's all. See, that irritates the living... Well, if I were going to say it the way we say it at home, bejesus out of us. That's much better. At least now it's sealed. Oh, goodness. What did I pick up? You ever have a day? I'm having a day. Here. There. Goodness. Okay, that worked a little bit better. Now, I am not patient when it comes to little things like that. Just irritate me. I've been doing this for so long, so those little things just are minor irritations in the grand scheme, but just irritate me nonetheless. So, there we are. Look at that. Okay, now I'm happier. Still a couple of spots, though, where it's not... Okay. So, a little bit of lamp black. We put that lettering in. I'm going to dry this real quick. And then we're going to add a shadow. And I want this to be a dropped shadow, which means we're going to come to the right of each letter. And we're going to leave a slight space between the edge of the letter and where the shadow starts. And we're going to use the same rigger that we used to do the lettering. And the color we're going to use is this one. We're going to use asphaltum. You knew I was going to use this at some point. Don't be surprised. So I'm going to thin this out with a little bit of Jo Sonja's. You could use water too. It won't matter. So I've got nice thinned asphaltum. And we're going to come to the right side of each letter, and we're going to leave a sliver of space. So in other words, there's going to be a little white line. Just to the right of the letter. Just like that. Sliver. So there we are. There we go. Now, I like a dropped shadow in certain respects. So, just so you can get a better look, there is a very narrow space between the right-hand side of the letter, the crisp edge, moving out just 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch. You just need to give a little space between the two so that it looks as if the lettering is sitting above this surface. You could float this in, but quite honestly, I like the dropped version a little bit better. The other thing is that the shadow should be approximately the same width as the letter. So if it's 1/8 of an inch, then your shadow should be about 1/8 of an inch. If it's a little smaller, it's okay. But it really shouldn't be much bigger. So we've got that nice little drop shadow. Just gives the lettering a little elevation. It lifts it off the surface a little bit so that it doesn't look like it's simply glued on there. Uh-oh. We have a visitor. Hi, Mace. Hi, baby. What you doing? No, you can't get in my lap. That would not work. Hi. Little Miss Mace.
Not so little.
Not so little. Yeah. She's what, 65 pounds now? Yeah. She's not so little. She's 65 pounds with an attitude and sassy. Very sassy. Aren't you? She's a good girl.
What's with the cobbing?
So that little bit of space in there acts like the light that's passing underneath it, so that creates that dropped shadow. So the lettering gives that appearance that it's hovering over the surface. And it's remarkably effective. So a simple technique that gives you great bang for your buck. So one of the fun things that I did with this particular piece is I included a sheet of stamps in the pattern. And I love these. So I tried to, when I was doing the pattern, I tried to find stamps that reflected some of the colors that were in the finished pieces. And I chose the one with the butterfly in here because it has that little bit of pink and the same type of green. And it just worked. I thought it just worked. So that's the one that I chose. And so I just cut that out. Now, I printed this on my inkjet, so that's a little worrisome to me. Ordinarily, I would print this on my laser. But I wanted to show you something while I was at it. So, somebody asked me how I got it to look like a real stamp, and it was quite simply, I just trimmed it. So it already had that little serrated edge on it. So that's a fun little addition that we're going to add in there. It just adds another layer of depth. But I wanted to show you something, if I can find it now, because I may have misplaced it. May have. May not. No, I did not. There it is. Get back here. These are fun. These are from 49 and Market. This is the postage stamp washi tape. I fell in love with these. These are available on Amazon. You can find them at scrapbook.com. You can find them all over the place. This essentially is a roll of tape made up of a whole bunch of different little stamps. And you can roll till you find one that works for you. Or you can just select one. I think no matter what color you choose is going to work. It's just a little element to add to this. This one is almost entirely green and white with a little touch of blue, and that one would work. And then there's the brilliant yellows, but just a fun application. So if this doesn't work for you, have a look at one of these. These will work just fine too, using that washi tape from 49th and Market. This is one of my favorite manufacturers when it comes to washi tape and scrapbook paper, because I just love the whole vintage theme that they carry throughout their design work. So we've got our stamp cut out. And now I need my postal stamp stencil. Maybe. Did I lose it already? Yes, I did. Okay, fine. I'll get another one. So I'm going to use a little bit of gold. And this one, this is one of my all-time favorites. I love this stencil. Why? Because it's got a cancellation stamp in it. So I'm going to use my cancellation stamp and a little bit of gold paint. And we're going to put, oh goodness, my gold paint needs a good shake. Thanks for joining us, Kathleen. You don't share my love of those things, ladybugs? Okay, not roachy things. Well, that's not really a roach. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a beetle of some sort. I like beetles. I think beetles are cool. So I've got a little bit of gold. This is my favorite metallic. I love this one, 24 karat in the extreme sheen. I love that one. So a little bit of gold paint. And we're going to stencil. I like to take it off the page, even if it's just a little. The idea of it having, sitting perfectly in there just doesn't sit well with me. So I'm going to stencil with the 24 karat gold. Fast and dirty. Neatness doesn't count. And there we go. I'm just going to put a quick second coat on. It wasn't quite covering the way I wanted it to. It's still not. I'm going to pick up a little bit of asphaltum and mix that with the gold. There we go. I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it. There we are. So I have my cancellation stamp down there. And then I love this one. It has another cancellation stamp in it. I'm going to bring that in. A little bit of gold. Like that. And I don't know. I'm thinking it needs a bit more. So just the edge. Doesn't have to be much. Look at that. A little bit of gold. A little touch of that in there. I love a little gold. Girl gotta have her bling. And then I'm going to grab my stamps again. Stays on stamp pad. And I need a cancellation stamp.
Thank you for slobbering on the microphone.
Well, if you left it within her reach.
Yeah, word from Maze.
Nothing? That's amazing. So I'm going to dry that a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to use the cancellation stamp because I can. It's my party. I can cry if I want to. I'm going to stamp that on there, but that's not working well. Here we go. Here we go. There we are.
She had to see if it was something edible.
There.
Everything's edible. She's
Well,
a mouth.
not necessarily edible, but certainly chewable.
Yeah, chewable.
Chewable. So, I'm going to dry this real quick. And then we're going to decoupage our postage stamp on. Because we can.
JL says, started watching Lucifer on Netflix. Now I know where May's got her name. Kind of.
Kind of, yep. So, again, I have my stamp. I'm going to mist this on the back. I'm going to take a little care with this one because I printed it on my inkjet, and I'm not sure how it's going to take. So, I'm going to... I like putting this on so that it overlaps both the stencil and the leaf. I'm going to press that into place. And I'm going to dry this real quick for a couple of reasons. I want to sort of set that ink again. And then I'm going to brush a coat over top very quickly. I'm not putzing with it. And I'm sealing that in. And then I have to cancel my stamp. There we go. So I'm going to cancel my stamp. What does this one say? New Haven, Connecticut. And what's the other one? Don't know.
Okay.
I can't read it. Najak? Not sure where that is. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm going to use my cancellation stamp. Right there. Canceled my stamp. And then we only have a couple more things to do to finish this off. I'm just going to seal up my matte medium.
Jessica's wondering if the mini stencils... I'll get there.
The mini stencil set?
Mini stencil set. She hasn't received them yet.
They're on their way.
She was just wondering if they were on back order or something.
No, they're not. No. They're on their way.
She just lives in Maine. It's a hop, skip, and a fart away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Najac is this town in the center of France. Thank you.
Would never have known that.
Well, it stands to reason since all of the stamps in that set except one were from Europe, so... I'm going to dry this real quick, and then I'm going to use my Factus Black Eraser because I want to get rid of some of the graphite that I don't like. Just to clean up the edges of the lettering. Look at that. Either my Factus Black or a Tombow Black Eraser. Those are the two that I recommend the most for this type of thing. Simply because, A, they don't damage your paint. They remove graphite very easily. And they just clean up your artwork nice. So the only thing I have left to do, I'm going to spatter this with a little bit of lamp black because I can, and I'm the boss of me.
I do what I want.
It's my piece. I can do whatever I want. Now, you could do this with a little bit of thinned asphaltum. I'm using a little bit of lamp black because. So I'm just going to lightly spatter. It just kind of falls into that sort of printed look, I guess. And then you can repeat this with a little bit of warm white. And now that I've completely ruined my fresh manicure, got black paint under my fingernails.
Does the eraser erase the black pen?
No,
Just carbon.
just the graphite. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that thinned warm white.
Right. We don't use carbon paper anymore.
No,
We use graphite paper.
graphite. So a little spatter of warm white, just 'cause I like how it looks. And I'm going to dry this before I start messing with it. JL, your May challenge prize has gone out. I think we were waiting for something. Yeah, postal service is nuts. It's been crazy. I know, that black eraser, it's sort of like a, wow. Judy, will I be doing the daffodil too? Yes, that's next Saturday. So there we go. Our fleur de printemps, our tulip. Such a fun piece to do. It's got so many layers. We're going to play with something a little bit different next Saturday when we do the daffodil. We've got a slightly different technique for you for that one. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I love doing these, and I love this layered method, using all of these things to create these interesting backgrounds. It just makes things so much more fun and a little more challenging. There's no boring involved. Oh, can't believe me. Canada Post is up to its shenanigans, jail.
I got us.
Yes.
So,
So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a lot of fun.
before I switch, I just want to say that the puppy fund
Yes.
is already at $141.50.
Nice. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it. Oh, well, thanks for having me back. I'm so glad you guys enjoy these. I've really missed you guys.
Switch cameras to the wheel. I hope.
Awesome. This is just such a fun... There we go. Fun piece to do.
Yeah, they'll
There,
barely be.
right there. So Renee's going to pop that wheel up.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. I can't see the chat anymore and somebody's asking questions. There we go. This piece will look good in the bathroom. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm trying to get Windows 10. There it is. Boom.
Okay. I still can't see the chat.
I know. Wait a second.
Okay. All right. What's the date goal for the Puppy Fund? We are aiming for the second week in December.
Second week in December? I put it for the 31st of December. So.
Okay, that's fine. My hair looks awesome. My hair is tragic. I need a haircut so badly.
All right, I got to bring up the wheel.
There it is. Okay, so again, I'll just reiterate. In order to get your name on the wheel, all you have to do is join the chat or hit the subscribe button. I mean, just all you have to do is say hi. That's really all you have to do. And it just lets us know that you're there, and it helps us collect the names if you hit into the chat. Now, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube doesn't matter because we see them all on one chat wheel anyway. So that's all you really have to do to get your name on the wheel. Second, the giveaways for this week are courtesy of Dynasty Brush and Tombow USA. So there's a set of Tombow's professional drawing pencils and a Tombow eraser in a Create bag. We've got fun little Create bags that we make up for you guys, plus a couple of other little goodies from us, and a 4-brush set of Dynasty Micron detail brushes. So it's a very nice little set, worth about $25 to $30 for that 4-brush set. So that is our giveaway for today. They are already sitting all packaged up with the postage on and ready to go. All we need is names to tell us who to send them to.
Oh, right. That's my cue to hit.
That's your cue. There you go. Oh, I didn't know that wheel had a sound.
I've always had the computer muted.
Yeah.
That's why.
Susan. Oh, here we go with that last name again. I'm not even going to attempt it, but Susan, my dear. Go over to my website at tracymoreau.net. Click on the little speech bubble in the lower right hand corner and send us your shipping information, please, so that we can get your goodies out to you as soon as possible.
I wasn't ready. Susan M.
I don't know. Whatever I say, it's not going to come out right.
Don't usually see 2 vowels in front of a J.
Or a word ending in J.
There.
There you go.
Nice one. Oh, right. Remove her name.
So we still got 2 more. And that just means that we've added another piece to the potential.
Yep. We'll figure something out on that.
We'll figure it. Stephanie Smith.
There's even an applause.
Yay.
There we go. That's 2. Boop. There it is. That's 1. For a puppy.
Linda Safranco.
Get out.
It has been a very long time since she's won one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Linda Safranco.
Well, we don't need her shipping information.
No, I know where to find her.
That.
Well, that sounds a lot less threatening than I know where you live.
That is also very true.
It is.
There we go.
Awesome. So our winners today are Susan. I'm afraid to say that last name because I will mess it up and I don't want to offend. And then Stephanie Smith and Linda Safranco. So ladies, thank you very much and congratulations. And everybody that is going to Chattanooga, have a fabulous time. I'm so sorry I can't be with you. I really was so looking forward to getting a hug from everybody. I'm really going to miss seeing you guys, but hopefully we might be able to get a little, perhaps a FaceTime in so that I can connect with all of you because I'm just devastated that I can't be there. So have a fabulous time. Enjoy all of the classes. Enjoy the atmosphere. Tuesday night, you're going out for dinner with the rest of your membership buds and with Sandy's group. Give my Sandy a big squeeze for me because I seriously miss my girl. And I will see you next time. Come and join me next Saturday. We're going to be painting the daffodil, the final to that series of 3. I have left that pattern up at the $5 price. So if you're looking for it, it is still marked at the $5 sale price. We will have another $5 e-packet sale coming up in the very near future. So just keep your eyes peeled for it. And then we're going to be painting the Filomena's Limoncello on the 6th of July. I can't wait to paint that one. It's going to be so much fun. And then I've got some other fun projects coming up too. So as well as a Christmas project in the very near future. I know you're dying to do a Christmas piece, aren't you, bud?
Yay.
Yeah, he's thrilled with that idea.
Yeah, Christmas.
So, again, thanks so much for coming and joining me today, guys. I have truly missed you, and I'm so glad to see you all. And we will see you again soon. Mwah. Love you. Stay safe.
You got anything to say, Mace, before we go? No?
Pet your dog.
She's quiet. Oh, yeah. Pet your dog. Oh, yeah. I have got to do...
You have control.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
Oh, now you've got them all saying it. Pet your dog. Sending love and hugs.
You're welcome, Debbie.
Hug your dog.